talking some trash to the secretary, saying, yeah, Papa, come on over here. But instead of stuff, help rubbing these fenders with a rag and walking home in sake-old shoes. But with them steadily depressing, low down mind messing, working at the car wash blues.
You know a man of my ability, he should be smoking on a big cigar.
But till I get myself straight, I guess I'll just have to wait in my rubber suit of rubbing these cars.
Well, all I can do is to shake my head. You might not believe it is true.
Oh, working at the St. John Niagara Falls, there's a undiscovered Howard Hughes. So baby,
don't expect to see me with no double martini in my highbrow society news. Cause I got them steadily depressing, low down mind messing, working at the car wash blues. To see me with no double martini and in my highbrow society news. Cause I got them steadily depressing, low down mind messing, working at the car wash blues. Yeah, I got them steadily depressing, low down mind messing, working at the car wash blues.
Fuck the police coming straight from the underground. A young nigga got it bad cause I'm brown. And not the other colors of police think they have the authority to kill a minority. Fuck that shit cause I ain't the one for a punk motherfucker with a badge and a gun to be beat on and thrown in jail. We can go toe to toe in the middle of a cell. Fucking with me, cause I'm a teenager with a little bit of gold and a pager. Searching my car, looking for the product, thinking every nigga is selling narcotics. You'd rather see me in the pen than me and Lorenzo rolling in a benzo. Be the police out of shape, and when I'm finished, bring the yellow tape to tape off the scene of the slaughter. Still getting swole off bread and water. I don't know if they fags or what. Search a nigga down and grab his nuts. And on the other hand, without a gun, they can't get none. But don't let it be a black and a white one, cause they'll slam you down to the street top. Black police showing out for the white car. Ice Cube was swarm on any motherfucker in a blue uniform. Just cause I'm from the CPD, pump police are afraid of me. Young nigga on the warpath, and when I'm finished, it's gonna be a bloodbath. A cop's dying in L.A. Yo, Dre, I got something to say. Fuck the police, fuck, fuck. Fuck the police, fuck, fuck. Fuck the police, fuck, fuck. Fuck the police, fuck, fuck.
May God arise, may his enemies be scattered, may his foes flee before him. May you blow them away like smoke as wax melts before the fire. May the wicked perish before God. But may the righteous be glad and rejoice before God. May they be happy and joyful. Sing to God, sing in praise of his name. Extol him who rides on the clouds. Rejoice before him, his name is the Lord. A father to the fatherless, a defender of widows, is God in his holy dwelling. God sets the lonely in families. He leads out the prisoners with singing, but the rebellious live in a sun-scorched land. When you, God, went out before your people, when you marched through the wilderness, the earth shook, the heavens poured down rain. Before God, the one of Sinai, before God, the God of Israel, you gave abundant showers, O God. You refreshed your weary inheritance. Your people settled in it, and from your bounty, God, you provided for the poor.
Broadcasting live from the Free Speech Studios deep within the city of Fountain, with over 4 years of satisfying the curious mind and looking damn sexy while doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, Phantom Fact Society.
Welcome, everybody. It is I, your ginger stream of consciousness, your Republican-hating, Democrat-hated favorite T-Moo, Tim Dillon, from the heartland of America, not like that loser in L.A., from the heartbeat, the central nervous system, Kansas City, KCK. Sure, I haven't learned the gang symbols. I'm working on learning the gang symbols. I haven't learned them yet. We are working relentlessly to find out how you do the KC. What is the camera? KCK. I don't know. Have you learned the gang symbols yet? We'll get the keeper on it. She's known to work the urban neighborhoods quite well. This fresh cut comes from Nate. Nate's Barbershop in Olathe, Kansas. If you can get in, you tell him the ginger sent you. I will say this. I am the only ginger that those guys have come through their doors. I don't ask that, and they don't tell me. But we know. We know that I am the only ginger. And I'm looking good. I mean, ever since my wonderful fiance has come into my life, the show's improved considerably. You know, I remember the episode with, I think it was with Flat Earth Dave, where my cupboard was open in the background, or we were like uncovering like a, child sacrifice in Nebraska, while, the dirty dishes were there. So now we, obviously position on Kansas City's front porch right here. What a view. I mean, not from donations from this show. Let me tell you, we didn't get the view from that. That's 100% sure. That's why I'm solo, because I'm not getting donations from. That's okay. You know what? Here's the thing. I don't know if everyone's noticed this yet on Facebook and on Twitter, but there are rage baiting accounts, which I don't know if it's ran by AI or, just someone that I like to imagine it's someone that just, failed at being a gas station clerk, which is a hard job. And then tried to become a librarian, and that didn't work out. And now they found some, devious NGO that will pay them to post inflammatory things. And the more inflammatory, the more comments they get. That's all that these social media sites are now. Is someone's getting paid, someone you never heard of, Joseph Tunoff from Ohio, is on my feed, Facebook. Why? And why is he saying that, Marjorie Taylor Greene has fake boobs and deserves everything she does? Like, why are we arguing about this? And then we have 30 million comments of enraged lunatics that are emotionally compromised. And they're all responding. And I'll be honest. At 6 o'clock in the morning, when I'm barely awake, and I should not be in possession of a phone. Now, let me tell you guys, I know this might be a little TMI because I'm looking so fly, but in the mornings, and I think every man, if we're being honest, can agree to this, in the mornings, the most important thing you do in the morning is take a morning poo. That is the most important thing you do. You do not, I don't care if you wake up and you're going to be 3 minutes late to work. If you do it, you're 3 minutes late to work. Now, there's the argument of pooping on company time. And I 100% hear that argument. But I cannot enjoy my poop on company time unless I've taken my pre-morning poop. And as I take this sacred moment, which should be a moment of zen and self-reflection and goals I have for the day, I instead am doom scrolling Facebook troll pages telling me that Charlie Kirk, deserved to be shot because, he had black hair. I mean, and just, and any other time of the day, I am strong. But at 6 o'clock, I am vulnerable. And I become one of these people. So, if you want to have a fun time watching me argue Republicans and Democrats, according to both, I am the most evil person on each side. And I think that means I'm right. Every other time this has happened, it usually means I'm right. Now, we had a lovely interview with C.S. Lark last week. Go check it out. But today is just you, me, and the lovely fiance. The beauty of having her here is she can nod. She's like, no, you're right. Keep going. Keep going. And then if I say something remotely funny, she giggles back. And that's nice. Welcome, Lobo, to the show. I saw you sitting there waiting through the musical intro. Welcome, everyone, to Fan of Facts. Tell your friends to subscribe. We are 3 subscribers away from the magical 400. And I know it's just 400, but it is also 400. So that'd be sort of sweet. No pressure, After all, we don't want to get too big. Otherwise, I have to stop using Timu Tim Dillon. I'm sure he'll sue me. So that's a worry. All right. Let's see what's happened. What's gone on since we've talked last? Seems like, I guess the Civil War in Minnesota. That's fun. Should we talk about that? Let's talk about it. Civil War, Minnesota. Why is everything happening in Minnesota? Now, as a person from Iowa, I do have my particular takes on the people of Minnesota. And, let's just say that we know the toothbrush was invented in Minnesota because anywhere else, it would have been named a toothbrush. You know what I'm saying? It's just that type of this Minnesota nice. Now, they worked hard on this, and I give them kudos. But I'm also going to give you an insight into Minnesotans right now. All right. So, first of all, the fact that they had to work on a marketing campaign called Minnesota Nice shows you that Minnesotans are indeed not nice. But not only that, right? Like there's other states that are not nice. Like I wouldn't even say New York. New York is nice. I would say Pennsylvania. Not nice. Pennsylvania people, you're not nice. You're not nice at all. But the beauty of Pennsylvania is they don't care that they're not nice. The problem with Minnesota is they want to project that they are indeed nice. Eat my casserole. But it's nice. You got to be nice. Jenny slept with your husband 3 weeks ago, but she also took care of the church function Thursday night. And so we got to be nice. We got to be nice. That is Minnesota nice to a T. All right. And so when we see these things happening in Minnesota and everyone's like, wow, what is happening in Minnesota? I thought they were nice. No, my friends, Minnesotans are so not nice that they made a campaign to tell you they were nice. And I almost think it's one of those things of a liar that they have to lie so much they convince themselves. Minnesotans have genuinely convinced themselves they are nice. Meanwhile, besides Seattle, they're the only state that burnt down a whole section of their city. But they're nice. They're nice. They're so nice that they will, completely destroy tons of businesses and loot all the stores. But they're nice. They are nice. Have you ever had a tater tot casserole? Oh! It's nice. The tater tot casserole is nice. Like Minnesotans. Not true. Not true. So, that's just, when we see everything crappy that happens in the Midwest is always in Minnesota, that's why. Like Iowans, South Dakotans, I mean, we have Kristi Noem, and she goes out and shoots dogs that don't hunt well and embarrass her. So I'm taking a step back from that. But Iowans can communicate their anger to another human without having to run a multi-year campaign convincing the world they're nice. It's just Minnesota. I don't know if it's the cold or all the lakes. There's a lot of lakes. I don't know if like so many family members, because they have a lot of kids. They have to, because, they all die falling in frozen lakes in the winter. So maybe that's why Wonderful Life is such a big movie up there. I'm sorry. I shouldn't go after Wonderful Life. I love that movie. I love the backstory movie. Just saying. They're not nice. The musical intro was great. Good songs. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We're in a fun Friday episode. And I'm thinking, if you guys are okay with it, Friday nights is our night here on Phantom Facts. Like, there are people that will do a show every night and will receive hundreds of thousands of dollars for doing so. But here at Phantom Facts, we believe in quality over quantity. It took us a long time and I think 6 co-hosts to get here. But we have learned, we have learned that if we can bring you a quality breakdown of the world so that you're not running around there frantically for the next week, I'm okay with that. That being said, I think we already missed the boat because everyone's been running around frantic for at least a week, 2 weeks, since Renee Good died. It's a touchy subject, people. It's touchy. I grew up, man, here's the problem. I grew up, you all know I grew up, big church kid, knocking on doors. All right. And I get confused when I see a whole generation of people that were brought in the 90s and said, you raise your kids here. You go work the crappy jobs that, the factory dads and, young blooming businesses about ready to take care of China's booming economy and exploit that for the next 30 years. You come in with your families and you take care of our pigs and you take care of our corn and you work, bussing tables at our finest establishments, and we'll let you live here. We'll call it a draw. That's what they were told. And when I say that, we weren't told they were being told that. They were getting that told to them in their home country. They had government entities, non-government entities, NGOs that were helping the government tell people, set up in Guatemala, Ecuador, Bolivia, Mexico, Panama. Hey, we can get you out of here, and we'll get you to the States, and we'll take care of you. And these were people that were representing the U.S. government. Now, these people come up, and I know we're going to hear about the 5,000 people since that time that have died because of illegal immigration. And this is not a dismissal of that. But of the 30 million came in, 5,000 died. Of the 30 million that came in. And what this 30 million that came in from the 90s onward did was allow us millennials to sit around and watch the Disney Channel. Or sit around and play Tony Hawk. While the Mexicans did all the work. They kept the whole barrage rolling. It's if you can't feel compassion for that side of the field, I mean, we've got to start there. We've got to start there. If we don't recognize that we use these people, and when I say we, I go very loosely, because despite how fly I look, I too am a slave. Right? Despite this beautiful surrounding. Now, if you guys wish to make me not a slave, listen, there's no joke. We're slaves to everything. But you can always, donate to Phantom Facts Society. These people were slaves. We made them slaves. I saw it firsthand. I went door to door with Mima Blanco to some of, they talk about horrible conditions now. Like I saw some of the houses built in 1890 housing, 7 people. 3 of them worked in the pig factory and 1 woman raised the other 3 kids. Or, and I mean, it was, and they were just thrilled. They were thrilled that their kids were born in America now and that they had a chance to, and they were willing to work, long hours, long nights. I mean, it was an exploitive system. And instead of teaching our kids how our local economies worked and how to better our communities, we told our kids, no. You go, you play, you watch TV, you get a liberal arts degree, do something useless. That's what they told us. If you don't love it deep down inside, don't you do it. You do what you love. You do what you love. I'd love someone to go through all the old Disney shows. No. You do what's better for your family. You do what's better for your community and the people around you. Because then you end up loving it more. Because you have now contributed to the betterment of not just your family, but of your family's future success with the community. It's a beautiful thing how it works. No. Our parents got bribed. And we were, the wonderful recipients of it. And now we're turning around and we're realizing that the situation's changed. It's not just here for slave labor. No. They want to bring them in to change elections. change the whole trajectory of what we conceive this country to be. But, that's. I'm just saying that in the end, these people are getting screwed over. And if you think for 1 minute the use of a workforce slave trade is going to stop, just go to Tyson Chicken. Go to any processing plant. It's not going to stop. So, Sarah Good, who got shot by an ICE agent, and Alex Preddy, who got shot by an ICE agent, which I may say about Alex Preddy blows my mind. That looks horrible. They straight up it was like one of those old Vietnam pictures I remember where the guy's like on his knees and he's getting shot by the officer. That's what that looked like. And for all the Republicans that are saying, listen, I get it. Would I tell my son to go do that? Absolutely not. You know why? Because I understand that we live in a tyrannical little government right now. For the last 70 years. It's just one side over the other. And the one thing you don't do with tyrannical governments when they're trying to prove a point, especially in Minnesota, where there is the little insight onto why we're picking Minnesota to really rile up agitators, is because there is so much fraud in Minnesota. They have robbed so much money in the cities and throughout the entire state. Billions of dollars. There's so much fraud that they know they can get away with killing people on the street in Minnesota because their governor is compromised. So Tim Walz can waltz all around he wants and say, I just thought it was horrible. But guess what? He's not going to do jack crap for you because he is severely compromised. We're talking close to treason charges maybe for old Timmy Walz if he doesn't play his cards right. And believe me, he is dancing a fine line. Because if he flips over to help the state with their case of fraud in other states, he is also a dead man. Because you know what else happens in Minnesota? They kill their own in Minnesota. Those Democrats that got killed, do you think they got killed by Republicans? No, got pretty quiet after they found out that they were the only two Democrats to vote to investigate this fraud. And then before it could be done, they're killed. A lot of crap going on in Minnesota, people. That's why Trump and his ICE agents and Kristi Noem, don't forget, is a neighbor state to Minnesota. And the one thing South Dakotans don't like is Minneapolis city Minnesotans. Can't stand them, right? Bunch of divas. Oh no. Lake Minnetonka is so bad. Where are all your lakes? Where? I gotta get to Minnesota. See, to do a proper Minnesota accent, I have to say Mayo with Mall of America. You go up there to Mall of America and you get your mail. Oh, that's good. All right, so you go. Where are all your lakes here in Sioux Falls? We got 10,000 lakes. There are 10,000 lakes, don't you know? Yeah, no. God, no. I'm sorry, Minnesota. You've done it to yourself. Done it to yourself. All right, we got some comments by Dan Fish. Minnesota Nice reminds me of Walt's wife trying to rally crazy people, smelling burning tires out the window. Yes. Yes, it is just, it's awkward. You know who is nice? People from Wisconsin. People from Wisconsin are nice. North Dakotans, wonderful. One of the best states I've ever been to. And delicious food. Who would have thought? You know what state's not nice? Minnesota. They're assholes. All right. Dan Fish, so much fraud in America right now. It's hard to know what is real right now. And that, man, I tell you what, that is. I refuse to spend more than 15 minutes on X of free time. And Facebook has been heavily curtailed as well because it's just two corporate sides trying to wage some, have you guys been watching Fallout? And to sell the bunkers, to convince people that they need to buy bunkers, they decide they're going to drop a nuclear bomb. And I'm sorry if that's a spoiler to you, but, I'm a horrible person. And that's what you get for listening to a Ginger podcast. Tell me that this isn't the same thing. Tell me that if the left and right don't both want the same thing, and that is distraction here while we bomb Iran, bail out Israel, and capture kidnapped presidents. Has anyone heard anything about Maduro since he's been to his... Yeah, just... I'm sure it'll be televised. I hope so. Good news, Luigi. The state of New York says he is not eligible for execution. So, although we know he didn't do it, obviously. So, all right, guys, I've got a couple of clips. I don't know if we're going to get to it. I suppose. Are we done talking about ICE killing people? Can we be done talking? I mean, no, I get it. You're gonna rally and blow whistles at them. I do get that. And I wish you luck at your, this is the thing. It's just so not genuine, right? It's just not genuine. They create these whole groups on, Signal app and then tell people where these ICE agents are going to go up. And do they stop the ICE agents from getting the migrants? No. All they do is just whistle. They whistle. Or attempt to drive away and get shot. But that's it. This is why, why would you ever encourage your family to go do this? Go all in or, don't just sit there and whistle. Can you imagine? That's going to stop the Gestapo in 1939 Germany. A bunch of Germans gathered around the Gestapo today as the trains flew past them full of Jews. Shut the fuck up. I mean, really, this is what they hope for. They created us, the millennial generation, right? Now, the thing they didn't see, because they spent so much time propagating us and addicting us to the screen, was that they didn't see we would transition to the internet and discover all their lies. That's unfortunate, right? But that's what happened. So millennials, you talk to any millennial, they all are hovering at this level, right? Because we've all seen it unfold. We've watched it happen. We've watched the lies be created in front of us. And then a year later, the internet came out to everyone's home and we were able to dissect, it was crazy, right? But Unfortunately, we are also Disney adults. I don't want to be a Disney adult. I hate Disney. I'm a Disney adult, though. You know, I mean, like, am I going to pick up a gun and go shoot an ICE agent? Absolutely not. Hell no. Why? Well, couple of reasons. One's I don't want to die. I don't want to put myself in a position to get shot at. Second, what I mean, like, what do you guys want? Do you think the South was crying about our First Amendment rights as the North invaded? Ah, illegal search and seizure as we bombed Atlanta to the ground? No. At some point, one side has to put their foot down and cleanse it. And if you don't think that's what we're doing right now, and what I mean, the United States aura right now is a full cleanse. And here's the problem, though, is what people like me hate is, yes, I want to see slavery ended. That's all I want. I don't want people to come to America to be slaves. That's it. But now I have to root for the Republicans who are going to go only after the slaves that don't work and also deal illicit drugs. The fun slaves. Those are the fun ones. But no, you're a big corporation, you keep your slaves. I mean, did we forget what Tyson did? Like, they literally closed down a plant, went to New York, hired like 20,000 people, and shipped them to Tennessee. And not New Yorkers, not homeless veterans that were needing a second chance. No, it was all immigrants that the New Yorkers didn't want in New York. What happened to those slaves? We're just at a point now where we have to recognize who we are, right? Either you're a Republican and you recognize that slavery is only good for corporations, or you're a Democrat and you want slavery for every corporation. Can we just not want slaves? That's all. That's all I want. And I've been doing research. We're going to have to do a show on slaves, I guess. Because it turns out that slaves were banned until like 1000, or no. It's like 492 by Pope Gregorius II. And that Pope said, all right, the Gauls from Germany that you're capturing, we can turn them into slaves, but only the Jews can sell slaves? And then for the next 1,000 years, they were the only people. So, like, they were the only religion allowed to sell slaves in the entire world. Different subject for different day. I'm just saying, oy vey, oy vey. Did you know they did it? You could purchase insurance on your slave in America? Just, I thought that was interesting. Isn't that the most American thing you've ever heard? Be like, can you imagine? It's like at Walmart when you buy a vacuum. And they're like, do you want the electronic service plan for $2 extra? That's what they did with slaves when you bought them at an auction house. There was I forget what company it was. But they would sit there and be like, would you like to insure that slave? I guess they sort of have that too. Workers' insurance, right? Yeah. Well, look at that. Making connections to the slave trade. Yeah, this the Catholics in the slave trade with the Jews is very interesting. I'm learning all sorts of stuff about it. Dan Fitch, did you see Bananas and Rice Somali lady who got wrongly detained, then let out, then spit on ice and got detained again? This is what I mean, people. This is, you got to stop watching these videos because it's just, these are insane. These are insane people. The ICE agents are insane. I don't think all of them. I know Kristi Noem is insane. She is an insane woman. She's insane. She's just, you know, you guys know what I'm saying. She's just like, she'd eat her young or kill her own dog if they embarrassed her too much. So the fact that she's the spokesperson, she's not running it. God, no. But she's the spokesperson, and she's, I mean, listen, this is the, do you think that's what they told her? Maybe that's why she put it in the book. Trump's like, I don't think you're tough enough. I just don't. I'm sorry, Kristi. You're giving blowjobs to Corey Lewandowski. I don't think you're tough enough, Kristi Noem, to be my vice president. And Kristi Noem said, well, let me tell you a story about tough decisions I had to make. One time I got embarrassed while hunting pheasants. So I shot my dog. And it was the dog's fault. She's insane. I mean, that's insane. That's an insane story. Why would you put that in a book? I mean, you don't even tell your kids that story. You're like, Cricket got hit by a bus. Not Kristi Noem. She'll suck off Corey Lewandowski and then, you know, shoot people on the streets of Minnesota. Yay. But then at the same time, like, why are you as Democrat? You know, we've been through this. We know why you're so mad. It's because you don't want to lose your slaves either. So, but don't worry, because out of all the presidents in the last 5 terms, this one's deported the least. So that should let you know something too. Yeah, Dan, it is very interesting. We need to do like an actual deep dive into the Pope and the slave trade. I think it's just, I actually talked about it with a friend at work today, and it's fascinating. All right, what do we got here for clips? Are we done talking about Minnesota now? Are we done? We need a musical break after that, guys. That was just, ugh. Let's do Black.
Almost heaven, West Virginia. Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is older than the trees. Mountains blowing like a breeze. Oh, Lord, yeah. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home, country roads, yeah. All my memories gather around her. Miner's lady, stranger to water. Dark and dusty on the sky. There's a teardrop in my eye. Oh, Lord, yeah. Country roads take me home to the place I belong.
my money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a trifling friend indeed. Oh, she's a gold digger, way over town that digs on me. She take my money. Now I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't fucking with no broke niggas. She take me money. Now I ain't saying she a gold digger when I'm in need, but she ain't fucking with no broke niggas. Get down, girl. Go ahead, get down. I gotta leave. Get down, girl. Go ahead, get down. I gotta leave. Get down, girl. Go ahead, get down. I gotta leave. Get down, girl. Go ahead, get down. Cutie the bomb, met her at a beauty salon with a baby Louis Vuitton under her underarm. She said, I can tell you rock, I can tell by your charm. Far as girls, you got a flock, I can tell by your charm and your arm. But I'm looking for the one. Have you seen her? My psychic told me she'll have an ass like Serena, Trina, Jennifer Lopez, 4 kids, and I gotta take all they bad asses to show biz. Okay, get your kids, but then they got their friends. I pulled up in the Benz, they all got a bin. We all went to den, and then I had to pay. If you're fucking with this girl, then you better be paid. You know why? It takes too much to touch her. From what I heard, she got a baby by Buster.
Like I'm putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap. Gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Gay. Frogs. Won't you fight for your life? Gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. I don't like a frog. Gay. Friggin' frogs. Frogs. Friggin' frog crap. Won't you fight the frogs? It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Frogs.
And we're back. We're back. And I also, just so everyone knows, love that song.
Oh, like I'm putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you?
And it is established. It is an established, just for people who forgot and don't believe that the water is filled with chemicals that turn you gay, then you have not seen our previous show. But I'll just give you a little snippet of the man that was hired by the pharmaceutical company, that atrazine, which wanted to see if there's any adverse side effects to their drug before it hit market. Now, this guy is not a nobody. Yeah,
I like solving the puzzle. I like the CSI. I also like frogs, and so I also feel a real drive to help understand how pesticides and other chemicals are affecting amphibian populations.
Hayes and his students have been looking for clues in the Salinas Valley.
50% of the U.S.'s agricultural products come out of California. It's something like 85% of the country's lettuce comes out of Salinas.
Now, if you're thinking that this guy may have also drinking some of this water, I would understand. But nonetheless, we must bear through.
90% of the almonds. It's called the salad bowl of America. California uses more pesticides than any other state. The second biggest is Florida. Things like chlorpicrin is used out here on the strawberries. Chlorpicrin is a nerve gas. These are guys who are applying it.
That's why they're so good.
They're out there picking it. Methyl bromide is a fumigant, something they pump into the soil. What are some of the other big ones, you guys? Some atrazine. This will all end up in the river that we're working in here. It might look like we're out in the bush somewhere, but 15 feet on either side, we're surrounded by agriculture, and the runoff ends up in this river. All of the algae is a result of all the nutrients, because a lot of fertilizers are used in agriculture. And once those fertilizers get into the water, you get these blooms of algae. I wouldn't say it's a sign of a healthy river. This is a site where we typically find compromised immune systems, tadpoles that aren't able to fight off disease. Our data so far suggests that the mixture of pesticides causes an increase in stress hormones, and those stress hormones cause immunosuppression, which leads to the inability to respond to any kind of disease pathogen.
Hayes is testing the effects of chemicals like atrazine, a common herbicide.
We have a whole family.
You know, I just recognize that now. I've watched this interview or this little PBS documentary 1,000 times, but I just recognized that last part right there. That last part is key to note about the lack of development along with the...
I wouldn't say it's a sign of a healthy river. This is a site where we typically find compromised immune systems, tadpoles that aren't able to fight off disease. Our data so far suggests that the mixture of pesticides causes an increase in stress hormones, and those stress hormones cause immunosuppression, which leads to the inability to respond to any kind of disease.
Sometimes I wonder, after these big corporations, after these corporations sold out and were bought by foreign investors, and then in turn, these foreign investors came back and introduced all these chemicals. I mean, go to Iowa. Iowa has some of the most polluted rivers in the world. And how do you not hear about it? They don't do the studies. They won't let anyone do the studies. Just absolutely horrifying, I guess. I don't know, horrifying, but it's just reality of why when we say
like putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
He's not wrong. All right.
Pathogen.
Hayes is testing the effects of chemicals like atrazine, a common herbicide.
We have a whole family of animals where we've eliminated the female chromosome.
Specimen 01.
These animals that we know are genetic males have been exposed to atrazine for their entire life. And many of these genetic males now are turning into females. You can see he's got eggs that kind of look like they're in a sack. These are actually yolked eggs ready to be laid. What's happening is you're skewing sex ratios. You can get genetic bottlenecking, which can cause crashes. And quite frankly, if you're a genetic male, it'd be nice if you developed as a genetic male. And now we have a chemical very common in the environment that's effectively sex reversing animals. I'm going to show you something pretty amazing, scientifically speaking. The one that's sort of remarkable is this pair. These are both males. The one on the bottom, acting as the female, we affectionately refer to as Darnell. He's a genetic male that not only acts like a female, he lays eggs like a female. She has been exposed to atrazine all of her life. I don't even really know how to reference it. This is Darnell's third clutch. So Darnell has sons and daughters that we've grown up.
You're just taking it. You're getting fleeced right now. All right. We get it. Darnell's having a good time.
You can see eggs in the bottom. This is actually her second clutch for today. She has been copulating for getting close to 24 hours now. This is probably...
Just going to say, I've seen that look. Look at that face. Look at that face right there. Sort of looks a little bit like Julia Roberts.
This is probably one of the most remarkable things I've seen in my work. But I personally have mixed emotions. I'm very excited about the science and trying to understand the mechanism. But on the other hand, I am worried. This is the most common contaminant in ground and surface water and drinking water. And the level of atrazine that it took to make this male turn into a female is 3 times less than what's allowed in our drinking water.
Boom! 3 times. Yes.
Oh, like I'm putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Your daily reminder, your weekly, monthly, bi-monthly reminder that, if you live out in farm country, you might pop out a kid and be surprised. Wouldn't that be? Be like, well, I don't know, George, but I'm having a kid. That's what a weird. But don't worry, guys. Don't you worry, because there is better news. There's better news out there. There is. And I see if I can clip it here.
Independent testing conducted by certified laboratories. The Florida Department of Health tested 46 different candy brands from 10 different companies. Of those, 33 were...
This is Florida's First Lady. After testing all of these candy companies, and we will provide a list.
Traditional, well-known candies, brands that we grew up with, things like Three Musketeers and Snickers and Skittles and Nerds and Kit Kats and Jolly Ranchers. In 26 of the 33 traditional candy brands tested, arsenic was detected at elevated levels. These levels are problematic when evaluated over the course of a year, and this is where the distinction is so crucially important. The concern here is not necessarily about one single piece of candy on one single day. The concern is when these products are consumed, as they realistically are, repeatedly over time, exposure can exceed what the Department of Health has determined to be safe annual allotment for arsenic. And here's why the context really matters. Take Nerds, for example. Yes, my daughter really likes Nerds.
Don't you dare ruin Nerds for me, Florida. Don't you dare ruin Nerds for me.
According to the department's analysis, consuming more than 96 Nerds, the small granular pieces of Nerds in a year, exceeds what is considered a safe annual arsenic exposure for children. But
You remember the other night when we ordered Nerd Clusters? Are you buying me Nerds to kill me? No. 94 Nerds. That's a box. I consume that in a hand. Turns out I love arsenic. I'm a big fan. And then I Googled, right? Because I'm just dying to know how arsenic is getting in Snickers and Nerds, and everything I Google is, well, it's, it's just byproduct. It's accidental. It was, from rice that sat too long. It's just, it's shit happens, you know. And then I go on DuckDuckGo and type in, why is there arsenic in candy? And it gives me a story. Let me see if I can find this story. It gives me a story, ladies and gentlemen, of how there's nothing wrong with arsenic, except sometimes they mistake it for sugar and it kills a bunch of people. What? What? What does that mean? I thought it was a byproduct, an accidental. You're telling me it looks like sugar? Let me tell you this. Arsenic in the 1800s, a dangerous poison. I mean, let me see if I can, there's all these accounts of these old women that used arsenic to kill people they didn't like. So there's that. There's that fun little thing. Just in case you're an old woman watching this show, I know we have that audience here. So you're welcome. But going on, one frequent problem with arsenic in the 19th century was accidental poisonings. One way this happened was that people often mistook it for flour, partly because it's odorless and tasteless. Where do we buy arsenic? Do you go to Walmart? I'm just sort of curious. Like, now I get it. All right, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I didn't know it was just like an everyday thing that you could just have next to your flour. An example of this was reported in the Dublin medical press in 1848, the good old years. Apparently, back in the good years where you could just buy arsenic. All right, 21-year-old Charles T. took by mistake a teaspoon of arsenic, thinking it to be flour. And having been in the habit of taking the latter every morning on the recommendation of an old woman for an eruption of the scalp, he died. This one's my favorite. Another accidental poisoning with arsenic was highly publicized. Now, the other one, the guy's in the house, he's 21, he's probably an idiot, and he ate a teaspoon of arsenic, right? But this one, 1858, in Bradford, England, it became known. It's a known event as the Bradford lozenge poisoning case. First of all, horrible name for an event, right? Poison pill cough relief would have been better, or this is horrible. All right. Sweets at that time were adulterated with a product known as Daff or Daft. Unfortunately, when the Daff was purchased, the seller accidentally sold the customer arsenic, which was then used to make lozenges. One purchasers of these lozenges began getting ill. The mistake was discovered, and although authorities acted quickly, the arsenic-laced lozenges poisoned more than 200 people and killed 20. So this has happened. This happened in 1858. So, at what point in the candy world did they say, you know what, guys? Hear me out, Bill. But maybe we don't keep arsenic in candy anymore. We keep it off table. We just stick to the good old, cocoa bean. But no, 2026, here we are, where every candy company in America is using arsenic. The best ones, may I add. I am shattered. Will I stop eating arsenic candy treats? Probably not. But I will be furious that I will now have to think about arsenic because Florida wants to be hoity-toity about it. Way to ruin it again for us all, Florida. We already know that pounding down a box full of nerds covered in gelatinous mix that tastes like sourdough, or not sourdough, but you know what I'm saying, is bad for you. We get it. The diabetes doesn't get us. The arsenic will kill us. Listen, you know, I get it. I get it. Can you imagine? I mean, these companies haven't even come out with a statement. And this was like 2 days ago, Florida came out with this. What is Snickers saying? Hey, don't worry, guys. We replaced, Red 40 cancer dye with, cockroach butt. So it's all going to be okay. We're healthy again. We're healthy again, guys. Have any of you ever seen that thing on McDonald's and the burgers they sell versus the cows in the world and how it's numerically impossible? What a world. What a world we live in. Arsenic candies and fake meat. I love it. But you know what? I'm looking pretty good. So feeling pretty fly. Thanks to Nate's Barbershop. They probably don't want to be associated with this episode. So I will not take them. But I am looking pretty fly for a white guy, which is an accomplishment. Now, I will be honest. My barber, I don't think he's ever cut a ginger before. Great guy, though. Soccer player. Semi-pro soccer player, which is a different meaning than semi-pro baseball player. He's way more advanced than that. And, got a young family. It was fun talking to him. He's bragging about his 3-year-old boy already being better at certain video games. It's just a great barbershop. So if you get a chance to have your hair cut, go to Nate's in Olathe, Kansas. Not a sponsor of the show. And probably never will be. Because we don't do sponsorships here. We believe in value for value. And according to you guys, there's absolutely no value to the show. But we keep doing it anyway. Because, we have to. We have to. You forced me to do this. Every time something happens, people come to me. And they're like, Corey, what? Tell me. And so this is how I do it. I tell you all at once. So I can sleep at night at 3:00. All right. One last thing before we go, just to, say I told you so. Let's look at this clip.
Tonight on City News, we continue to delve into medically assisted.
Oh, no, not that clip. Not that clip. Give me a second. Commercial break.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better.
I'm on meth.
I'm on meth.
I'm on meth.
Like the pine trees lining the winding road, I got a name, like the singing bird and the croaking toad, I got a name, and I carry it with me like my daddy did, but I'm living the dream that he kept hid. me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Like a north wind whistling down the sky, I got a song, I got a song. Like the whippoorwill and the babies cry, I got a song, I got a song. And I carry it with me and I sing it loud. If it gets me nowhere, I go there proud. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by.
Last breaths are sacred.
Like a fool I am and I'll always be. I got a dream, I got a dream. They can change their minds, but they can't change me. I got a dream, I got a dream. Oh, I know I could share it if you want me to. If you're going my way, I'll go with you. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by.
Thank you very much. The immortal Jim Croce to finish out our night on Phantom Facts. Thank you all for joining us on a Friday Phantom Facts here on the Free Speech Studios. Spit it out. Just one quick little update. You know, I don't like it. You know, I hate being right. I really do. It's just so horribly satisfying. And yeah, here we are again, taking a lap around tragedy, because once again, Phantom Facts called it out several years ago. They came out with this commercial, and we talked about
Sacred. When I imagine my final days, I see bubbles. I see the ocean. I see music. Even now, as I seek help to end my life, there is still so much beauty. You just have to be brave enough to see it.
Now, for those of you listening or watching, you may be saying to yourself, well, that does sound nice, Jeff. What the heck are we talking about? Well, this is just yet another ad for medically assisted dying. Medically assisted dying. Now, we talked about this euthanasia years ago. And I said, you know, we talked about, you know, this scenario right here for Jennifer dying of cancer. Look at this.
I see music.
The music.
Even now.
One last dinner.
As I seek help.
It's what everyone wants. It's how everyone wants to envision their death the way Jennifer, who's dying of cancer and in pain and suffering and just wants it to be done. And we all said yes to sweet Jennifer. And we agreed, you know. But then of course, I had to come out and say, God, it would be bad if a government who is founded on eugenics used this incredibly compassionate thing and decided to abuse it to just get rid of all undesirables they considered in their country. And you all mocked me. You mocked. You said never. Governments have our best interests at mind, Corey. And doctors would never stoop to the low of encouraging someone who just was having a bad day to go kill themselves. No, no, no. It's for people like Jennifer. And so the Canadians, because they once again, now Canada is just North Minnesota, right? They're not nice either. They've also run a huge marketing campaign. They're dying so much to convince you they're nice that they will let their people kill themselves to prove that they're that nice. They said, no, we're Canadians. We're out in a boot. You think we're assholes, but we're nice. We're so nice that we're going to let you kill yourself. That's how nice Canada is. So it's so nice that if you just hate life enough there in Canada, they will pay to kill you. That is Canada nice. Isn't that nice? So anyway, Jennifer, people like Jennifer who are suffering in pain, it's going to end. They want it to end where they're still respectable and their friends can remember them as they wish to be remembered. That's nice. But instead now, 4 years later, we're here.
I have some medical reports from my son from different doctors, and I've obviously highlighted a lot of important parts that that not only gives us as a family an indication of how improper this approval was, and I think the government should know, and these are from actual doctors, they're not things that I've said or felt throughout this whole interview. Like I said before, I mentioned this one doctor did say that please note that referral for MAID assessment for Candovafian has been declined.
Now, I know what you're asking. What are we watching here, Corey? So let me break it down. What has happened in Canada is this 26-year-old boy whose mother we are watching talk on this interview right now was suffering from blindness and depression. And a doctor told him, hey, have you thought about killing yourself? And so this kid went back to his state and tried to find a doctor that would approve it. And of course, he was denied. So then he snuck over to another state in British Columbia. Or no, British Columbia, not Ontario. And they killed him. His mom didn't even know.
Please contact the Ontario MAID coordination with a number. So that was available to him. And a doctor said, I'm not going to approve you for MAID. You don't qualify. I'm declining you. But here's the number that the people might approve you. Does that make sense there?
This doctor goes, I'm not going to approve you. To me, I don't want that blood on my hands. But I know my buddy over here, he'll let you kill yourself. You go right ahead. You go right ahead. Just.
Then there's another one that that this situation in this patient does not fit the typical picture of a patient who would be approved for MAID. I had a conversation with palliative care who agreed that this was an unusual situation. This is from another doctor. I have another one that says Keanu Vafian is a patient of mine being treated for depression. I understand that there are pending criminal charges which have contributed to a worsening of his depressive symptoms. And that's going back on his psychotic behavior under psychosis because of drugs and so forth. This was actually back in 2023. And he had a slew of charges because of his behavior out in public. And one episode was with his sister, and he was just going crazy because of all the shrooms and drugs that he was on. Another doctor said that it will be worthwhile having him seen by psychiatric service here, considering his threat to harm himself by refusing to take his insulin at home.
Wow.
I think that was one way that he thought that maybe he would be able to get approved if he doesn't take his insulin, which to my knowledge, that's never happened. He was always on top of his insulin. And in fact, he showed me his A1Cs a few months ago that they were fine. I feel because it was made accessible to him, because already he was approved once, he just shut it all down. He shut down all help. He shut me down. He shut everybody down for help for mental illness. And he just focused on the MAID because of that first Dr. Tepper who approved him. And now Dr. Ellen Weave, who approved him again and found another loophole. And that's what's disgusting. And it's going to happen again moving forward, especially in 2027, if we don't stop it for mental illness, especially for mental illness.
So, it's really sort of funny, right? If you think about it, because Canada gave him drugs to deal with his depression, which the side effects may be suicide, which then conveniently they also offer. So, well done, Canada. Well done. I mean, so, yeah, expect that here in about 10 years. Anyone that's ever been recorded as having a mental illness, well, by George Jordan, look, if you just can't quite figure it out, don't worry. We got you. We've got you figured out here as well. So, happy Friday, everybody. No, we can't end on that. Can we? Can we end on that? Do I seem happy? Do I have something happy? How about an old clip of how we believe Trump hated war?
I mean, this is a total catastrophe, and you might as well get out now because you're just wasting time. And
I mean, no better advice from the president himself. Get out of here, people. You're wasting your time here at Phantom Facts. But in case you want to waste your time again next week, join us Friday, 8 o'clock Central Time on Phantom Facts. I'm your host, Tim Dillon. And this has been a show. It's been a show.
May God arise. May his enemies be scattered. May his foes flee before him. May you blow them away like smoke as wax melts before the fire. May the wicked perish before God. But may the righteous be glad and rejoice before God. May they be happy and joyful. Sing to God, sing in praise of his name. Extol him who rides on the clouds. Rejoice before him, his name is the Lord. A father to the fatherless, a defender of widows, is God in his holy dwelling.
This is the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test. Repeat, this is not a test. Citizens are advised to take the following steps. If exposed, remove the phone.
Podcast for the curious mind.